Now, with this lawsuit, if it does turn out that there are thousands or even tens of thousands of claimants of people who are seriously injured or have had relatives die, if that happens, is there any concern in the government that this could be a significant blow to the government's budget?
Well, look, I couldn't answer that honestly, Fred, because I'm not in the government of the day. I'm obviously from the coalition and not Labor. I have no doubt that even if the class action was to win and the judge was to rule in favour of the vaccine injured, I believe it when I see it, when the government actually owns up to its responsibility and starts taking these vaccine injuries seriously. And by seriously, I mean offer an apology, offer mental support as well as financial support and medical support to the victims of the vaccines.
Do you think there'll ever be a Royal Commission, Gerard?
I don't know, Fred. There has been no talk of it whatsoever from the Labor side. I think we may have discussed this before. I'd be sceptical even if there was a Royal Commission that the terms of reference would be set up properly. I think Labor would design the terms of reference to look at it from the point of view that the vaccines weren't rolled out quickly enough. There wasn't enough done to keep people safe initially, rather than actually address the underlying issue of the vaccines. And the constant fear-mongering by state premiers and overreach by them in terms of locking people down, locking people out of, their home states even when they didn't have COVID. The unnecessary money wasted on quarantine centres like Wellcamp up in Toowoomba. I think the Queensland government wasted $300 million on a quarantine facility there. And if I'm not mistaken, I think a few other states did the same. So possibly up to $1 billion just there on quarantine facilities that were rarely used. I don't know if there'd be a Royal Commission, number one, and number two, if there was, I'd be sceptical that, they addressed the proper issues, which obviously, in regards to the safety of the vaccines, the government overreach, and whether or not, governments acted appropriately and didn't violate human rights in taking the measures that they did.
It sounds like the government is just hoping that now that life has returned to relative normality, that it's hoping the people of Australia will just think, oh, well, let's just move on and forget about it. Do you think that's a strategy that will work?
I think you're right. I think that's exactly what they're hoping they will do. And unfortunately, I think that will be a strategy that will work. I mean, people just move on. I mean, now a lot of the issues of the day are around the voice and the transgender movement. And Labor would like that because they want to take their mind off the economy and the cost of living. We're up against it. I mean, I keep banging the drum, and I know a few of my colleagues keep banging the drum about vaccine injuries, and I will continue to do that while I'm a member of Parliament because, people had their human rights violated.
Yeah, and people are still suffering.
And people are still suffering. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And while they're still suffering, I'll keep fighting.
Oh, well, good on you. Good on you, Senator. You mentioned the voice and transgender, but just to finish off on a different topic, just for a change, the coronation of the wokest king in British history is going to happen this weekend. Now, I don't know whether this is a good thing for the Republic or the monarchy because most Republicans are pretty left of centre and would agree on King Charles on most things, especially when it comes to climate change. Do you think the coronation will be a good thing or a bad thing for the Republican movement in Australia?
I don't know, Fred. I don't have much an opinion on it either way. I'm certainly not in favour of Republic, not because I necessarily think I need a foreign king or anything like that. I think that's a bit of an anachronism as well, but I guess my opinion is if it's not broken, then don't fix it. And any step forward in the Republican movement, especially under an Albanese government, I just don't think would be good for the country, period.
Yeah, well, you look around the country and there's a lot of things that are broken, and thanks to senators like you, there are people trying to fix them. Senator Gerard Rennick, thanks for your time.
Thanks very much, Fred. Have a great day.